Oh, what's up guys, Sub-Zero here. I got another YBY1 VOD review for you today. We are in Ultimate Prelude, which I have to imagine means Prismatic Prelude. So we're gonna be Prismatic as our first augment. Look, I could not VOD review YBY1, but I'm pretty sure this stream, I don't wanna spoil what this game was, though if you've seen enough games from this guy, you could probably guess what he scored this game. But I'm pretty sure his average was like under a 2. And he's 2k LP. He's 2k LP. Like, is this guy real? And also, not to, we'll get into it as the game goes on, but I was just scanning through his stream and I saw his final board this game and I said, what? I have never seen someone play the final board that he played this game. I've heard tale of it. I've heard Joe Bookmark talk a little bit about a reroll comp that might exist, but I've never actually, I've never seen someone play for the line that he played for this game. Reroll our augments here. I think Level Up's a solid choice. The uplink one isn't very good, and Jeweled Lotus isn't very good. I think Cybernetic Bulk is very, very good, so I'd lean towards either Bulk or Level Up. I think he really, really likes the Bulk augments, which makes sense because he's always playing for like Gigamax Cap with, interesting that he didn't even roll the Jeweled Lotus one. And we pick up a KDA Evelyn here, and that's just what we're gonna build around, which I think this is like one of the more underplayed headliners, one that I don't think everyone is like gunning for and like, oh man, I really want to play KDA Evelyn. But it makes sense, right? We have the Kaisa and the Lilia in our shop. And this is something that I feel like I really need to learn from YBY1 is how to play around these openers and how to play these openers where you just don't get a lot to work with. Because I think, like a lot of people would say like, oh, I don't have a good item slam in this spot. I don't have like an amazing headliner. I'm just going to open fort it. Like that's how NA plays, where it's like, okay, I don't have anything like broken. I'm just going to open fort. But YBY1, he says, okay, I know that like I don't want to slam a single item here, so I can take Cybernetic Bulk. That spikes my board really, really hard with all of these item components. So then I'm not forced to slam one of these kind of garbage items. Like the only thing you could slam here is Steadfast Heart. Like that's actually a reasonable slam, but it doesn't really do anything on this board because you don't have a big tank. But with Cybernetic Bulk, we get to spread all our components out and just play like an okay board. The scary thing, though, is we will run into people like this guy who has Freaky Friday plus IE on their chosen Olaf, and suddenly it's really, really difficult. Now, I would hazard a guess that YBY1 is not going to upgrade this Kaisa. I bet if I turned on the terrible Google Translate auto translation, he would be like, save your gold, guys, save your gold, guys. Watching this guy stream with the auto translated subtitles, I'm getting an idea for what he's saying, which is pretty much always save your gold. That's basically it. Save your gold, and that's what this patch is all about, right? Save your gold, and in this spot, it's hold Heartsteel as well. So yeah, we're gonna hold on to Heartsteel with bow, chain, and with it's bow, chain, and glove open. Curious to see what he goes for. He doesn't have tier open, right? It was bow, chain, glove. Bow, chain, glove. Like the sort of standard slams here would be something like an IE, something like a crown guard, but you don't really want to take the rod. You could also take tier just to have another open component. Probably tier is best here if we can't pick up a bow here, because tier can play for some. But if we can get the bow, then you would just go for bow, I would think. He doesn't take. Wait, what did he take there? He ended up taking chain, which is really interesting. I mean, there's no way he's gonna go for like a Titan slam, right? I mean, I think he went for the chain because he just wanted the Nico, which builds for a very strong board, and then he's just gonna spread components. So yeah. Actually taking, I feel like that's such a crazy play, actually. Like, if you think about this more, to play for component, or not to play for component, to play for unit in this meta. It just goes to show, like, what YBY1 is doing in this meta, where he doesn't go for, like, the bow to finish red buff, or, like, the tier for, like, a blue buff later. He goes for another chain vest, which is, like, not a super high priority component, but he takes it just so that he can play, 5 KDA here, and then potentially get Superfan in next level. Which is wild to me that he actually goes for it. Disco Gragas, not the best option. A bit unfortunate, because there are some headliners that we could absolutely high roll. But I mean, our board is fine right now. We have 5 KDA with the Crowd Diver. If we can high roll, if we can pick up like a Kennen or a Gnar here and get into Superfan, I feel like our spot will actually be like really, really solid for the early game. And the question is just what are we going to pivot into, which depends on our items. He's not committed to anything right now, so everything's open. We could turn this bow into like a Nashor's and play Ari. We could turn this bow into a red buff and play everything. We do end up picking up the Superfan here and the Gnar, and yeah, he's just going to put that onto his board immediately, saying that he prioritizes Superfan higher than he prioritizes Crowd Diver, which I think makes sense. And then I assume we're gonna try to hold on to this Katarina. If he gets 0 gold here, I wonder what he would do. Tier here is a bit awkward. Okay, yeah, you can definitely make gold in this spot. He also, well, I mean, this is an interesting spot to look at, right? Because we get offered Senna too, and we also have all of this this gold. But the problem is, you don't really want to sell Nico pair. You don't really want to sell Lilia pair. Like, you go sell, and then just give up on Lilia pair. I'm curious to see what he does here in this spot, actually. And there's also like the Senna 2 option. The problem is like Senna 2 is a little bit awkward to play around. It's like kind of hard to fit on your board, I would say. He is gonna end up buying the Senna 2. Okay, because like you could open sell your, like, you could. The problem is like you have this bow stuck on like you want to play this board. Essentially, you want to still play the 5 KDA, and he's just gonna play Senna on the 5 KDA board, not worry about getting in Crowd Diver or Superfan. Yeah, he's just gonna play this board. I mean, it fits relatively well with the Echo. It's just you're not like buffing your strongest unit. But wow, this is actually a case where YBY1 said, I'm actually going to make an upgrade here, which is almost crazy for him, but maybe he thinks he can play for streak. Augments that give items would be really, really solid in a spot like this. Twin Terror seems hard to play from this spot. I guess you could take this and take... I really don't like this augment that much, but I don't like the other two like at all in this position. New Recruit I like a lot, actually. I feel like New Recruit is just such a good augment. I don't know. It actually seems good here. You can fit in extra units. The only issue is like, yeah, extra items is so broken with this. So I could definitely see it being this. And you just slam the items on Senna. I mean, yeah, I think that's the tension here, is that like he really... Ooh, is it just that? He's gonna go New Recruit. Okay. And yeah, like, I think YBY1 also really likes this New Recruit augment. I think it's just kind of broken. Surely we're making 30 if we win, and our board should be pretty strong. But, like, New Recruit, not only does it give you an extra unit slot, which is just, I mean, it's solid, but it gives you that duplicator, which allows you to high roll, like, if you just hit 2 5 costs in on 8, or even if, you know, like, you hit, say, like, a headliner, frontliner, but then you hit, like, 2 Ezreals or 2 Aries or something, then you can just make the Ari too. Like, the power of this duplicator is very, very high. Okay, so I think this is where, yeah, this is where it starts. So he sees, I mean, this is already a pretty cool call out. He sees Pentakill Urgot in shop and says, you know what, I'm going to play for this Pentakill Urgot, which, I mean, it does make the board stronger in the moment. So I think it makes a good amount of sense to play for this Pentakill Urgot here. And now, like, your board is, like, really, really strong and upgraded here. But I think from this moment that YBY1 gets Pentakill Urgot, he's thinking, okay, it's possible that I could play for an Urgot 3, or have I said Urgot? Did I say Urgot like 10 times? Mordekaiser's the name of that unit, I think. I think I said Urgot every single time. And then I think this is what actually seals it. We get triple spat carousel here, and this spat actually goes untaken, so YBY1 gets to take this spat. And no, normally, I think in this spot, I would say, okay, like, I can take spat here and just play for true damage and just hope and pray that I'm going to find a sword this game. But that's actually not what YBY1 is thinking here, I believe, because that's not what he ends up playing into this game. He has 2 chains open. He can make a pentakill spat in this spot, which, you know, he doesn't have to slam immediately because he has the bulk, and because it's, you know, he's only 3 pentakill, so it won't even spike him to 5 pentakill. But yeah, I think he could also probably in this spot be thinking like, okay, I'm open to either one, either pentakill spat or true damage spat. And, you know, like, if I high roll a spot for true damage spat, I'll go for it. If I don't, then, you know, I'll play other stuff. The other thing I think that makes sense about this angle, and okay, I'm starting to piece it together, right? I think he was open to playing for Mordekaiser 3 this game. And then he gets a 4th Mordekaiser here. He's scouting the lobby, seeing that there aren't that many Mordekaisers. Yeah, he's, wow, just very diligent TFT. He's scouting the lobby, saying, okay, like, how many Mordekaisers are actually out of the pool? And he's noticing, okay, there really aren't that many Mordekaisers out. I didn't see very many when he scouted there. So there aren't that many Mordekaisers out. We're going to win this fight, and we have 4 Mordekaisers, and we even have a duplicator that could be theoretically used on Mordekaiser here. The other thing is that he's pretty low on gold because of how upgraded his board is, because of how his early game went. And, you know, like, he's pretty healthy as compensation for that. But the other thing is that he's spent all this gold on his board. It's actually really hard for him to 4-2 it. But yeah, I think, okay, this round is probably what solidifies YBY1 as saying, okay, I'm not going to play for true damage this game. I'm going to play for vertical pentakill Mordekaiser reroll. Because, like, in this spot, yeah, like, he has 5 pentakill, he finds another Mordekaiser, and he doesn't find a single sword. I think that has to be it. Item-wise here, I don't actually know. Okay, so yeah, he goes for Ionic Spark, which seems like a pretty solid Mordekaiser item, though not a very common slam. And then he goes for the Hodge. Like what are these Mordekaiser items? But they kind of make sense, you know, in some ways, right? The Hodge is going to allow him to heal up while he casts. Like, look, he dealt 2.2k damage this round, and now he's like, okay, I need to find Olaf. I would think just another bulk here would be good. I don't actually know what he ends up taking in this spot. I would think another bulk would be solid. I guess you could go little buddies. The problem is it's not going to buff your Mordekaiser at all. Ooh, I mean, that's red buff. But yeah, like, can you really play around red buff? Looks like he's going to say no. The Kane is actually a really, really nice unit to play around. He also, this is 6 Nikos here. So I think what makes a lot of sense on this board, to me at least, is that Superfan fits really, really well. Not only is Mordekaiser's Superfan item Ground Guard, which is just an insanely good item for him. And look at this. That was a Yone 3, right? We just stomped a Yone 3, right? Yeah, this is Yone 3. Though also, I don't know what he's up against because this person is blue buff Gwinsu, Declaw, no item slammed Yone 3. So, I mean, this fight is kind of a fraud win, but that's okay. But yeah, like, he has the 5 Mordekaisers here, and he can also play for the Superfans, is what I was saying. Like, he has 6 Nikos now, and like, you really want to keep Superfans on this board. It has a great item, and it fits in really, really well with the board because you're paired up Sentinel with Lilia, and you're already like, you already want to play Gnar because he's a Pentakill unit. So really the only unit that's kind of awkward to play is the Nico, but like Guardian is pretty easy to fit, especially like late game once you find a Yorick. So yeah, it actually fits really well. The only thing that's a bit scary here, I would say, is we're pretty low on damage items. The Mordekaiser will do some damage, but he's not like a primary damage dealer. He could just take another Mordekaiser here with Nashor's Tooth, I guess. He's just gonna go for, looks like, he does end up taking the 6th Mordekaiser with the potential Nashors on it. And yeah, as you can see, he's just gonna slow roll on 7. He wants to find some upgrades. That's an Alawi, but how do you even fit Alawi on this board? I imagine you don't. Looking at potentially Sunfire Cape as well for the healing reduction. He knows that it's pretty likely that we're going to find this Nico 3. So yeah, it doesn't end up becoming a Nashor's. It becomes a Sunfire Cape. And still, we're basically like full tank items. We haven't built a single damage item this game, outside of, I guess, Hodge, which is sitting on this Mordekaiser. But yeah, like, we're 4 tank items, one of which off Superfan. And we don't have like a single real damage item built. Picks up a Kali here and immediately puts that in. I think, you know, he was already thinking about playing this Akali. Also picks up a Kiana on 7, which he's trying to figure out how it's going to fit. And yeah, he just gets it in here with the Akali. And now we have true damage. Wait, no, that's KDA Akali. Oh yeah, it's KDA Akali. Oh, a little bit. I don't know. I feel like true damage Akali might be. Actually, I don't know. Maybe KDA Akali works in this spot. It's interesting. But yeah, still just slow rolling on 7. The count on 7 definitely solid, but he doesn't actually have an item on it, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I guess it always has to be. I mean, no, wait, we're 2 KDA, 2 true damage, right? You could turn her into true damage, but you'd lose KDA, of course. But yeah, the Kiana, just a very solid unit to put on this board as well. But yeah, like, just what an unconventional board right now. Playing around this vertical Pentakill, 5 Pentakill, 4 Superfan. He picks up a Yorick on level 7 as well. I mean, he's rolled so much. He has the duplicator still, and yeah, he's just going to duplicate the Mordekaiser and say, okay, now I can push levels. Gets the Yorick in, which allows him to play 7 Pentakill, and he's just going to leave a Kali in. He has the Karthus as well. Just going to build Hodge here. And yeah, it just gets out of the units that don't actually make sense on the board, and he's going to play for the 7 Pentakill with the Yorick, which, I mean, like, what is this board? I mean, obviously it's vertical Pentakill, but when was the last time you saw someone play vertical Pentakill? And 2, when was the last time you saw someone play vertical Pentakill Superfan with a Pentakill Spat Akali? I think Pentakill Spat Akali is like one of the more just solid Pentakill Spat holders. Like, she fits very well into the board, especially here where it's KDA, and then it's also Executioner for Karthus. So like, she's a very standard, I would say, Pentakill Spat holder, but this like Superfan fitting in as well. It almost reminds me of like early in the set when a lot of people were playing like Superfan Karthus Akali, and that started to fall off because this Karthus unit is kind of garbage. But I think if you have a Mordekaiser in the front line buying a lot of time, then your Karthus can potentially do damage. He's got Ionic Spark applying to all these units, and yeah, I mean, this is our board. We're 63 HP win streaking now. But yeah, like, what a cool board. I don't know. I saw 7 Pentakill, 4 Superfan, Mordekaiser 3, and the fact that he immediately like had this in mind. Like, I I don't know. Maybe someone will go through his stream and look at what he actually said, and he'll be like, I have no clue what I'm doing. What is this comp? But like, it really looked like he saw that he had a few Mordekaisers. He started with 4 Mordekaisers, and they got the Pentakill spat, and said, oh, I mean, obviously it's Mordekaiser 3. Obviously it's Mordekaiser 3 Pentakill. Reroll, basically, which is not something that I think is very common. Item-wise here, we don't need Static Shiv. We just go like an Archangels for the Karthus, I would think, or either that or like a Redemption for the Yorick. I would imagine it's Archangels. Yeah, you have so much. You're buying so much time with this this Mordekaiser. I would think at this spot we can just go 9. He didn't actually swap out any units, right? Yeah. It's not the most upgraded board of all time because we're stuck on like Karthus 1 and a Kali 1. But we do have the Mordekaiser 3, and the other thing is that we're 63 HP. Our board is like we're very, very healthy. So like even if we got like dumpstered these 2 fights, we would still be fine. But I mean, just look at this Mordekaiser, sits in the middle of everyone, tanks a Jax ult, and then just ults like and just kills the entire board. Like this Mordekaiser is just a beast. Also notice the positioning, right? He's trying to make the entire team clump around this Mordekaiser. Either side, right? If they're on the left side or the right side, they're going to come walk up to the Mordekaiser, and because he's solo frontlined, there'll be a high chance of them clumping around. Yeah, if he's confident someone's right side you can do this, it's just a little scary when you fight someone like this Yone, who, yeah, he just gave this Yone perfect position to walk into his backline. It's actually really, really unfortunate that he swapped at that last second, because if he didn't, Mordekaiser might have just been able to carry it. But wait, Mordekaiser still wins the fight. 14k damage. I mean, he griefed the positioning of this fight really, really hard, but he actually still wins just because of this Mordekaiser 3. Just like, what an absolute monster. But yeah, this is a tech that I think, like earlier in the set, like a few weeks, maybe like a month ago, Joe Bookmark was like, yeah, Mordekaiser 3 is just broken. And like, I never really got a chance to play it because I was just never really in a spot to play for Mordekaiser 3. But I mean, this game, YBY1 was, and look at him go. I guess you have to take an item for like Yorick here. I'd like a 3rd Karthus item, but yeah, you just go Yorick item here. I was thinking Titans, but Edge of Night is also very, I mean, this Titans item is not very good. I think it's decent on Yorick, but he just goes the Edge of Night just to, yeah, I mean, this Yorick isn't very tanky right now. Once you hit Yorick 2, he'll be very, very tanky. But yeah, the only question now is when do we go 9 and how do we cap out our board? But I mean, look, everyone is just dying to our level 8 version of the board. We're gonna sack 2 at this point because we're 63 HP. We have the Jax board and the Yone board left, but these are actually 2 really, really good matchups. The other thing about this comp is it matches up so well into the meta. Also, look at this lobby now that I think about it. It's 6-2 and the lobby is almost over. Like, everyone is dead. I think just because we're 63 HP and we're on an 8 streak, like, he's just taxed the lobby HP. So, like, this might be a double kill. Just no one can kill this Mordekaiser. The game might be over at 6-2 if this Mordekaiser can close it out. Oh, okay. We're going to have at least one more combat. But that game was actually almost over at 6-2. I mean, that's a YBY1 diff. Like, just being 63 HP here, taxing the lobby HP so high, meant that, like, everyone is just super, super low here compared to like a normal tempo lobby. He's gonna get 4 Guardian in here, and I have to imagine this is the last fight. I don't see how this I just don't see how this board actually kills Mordekaiser when you're not fighting against Clone. I mean, I guess we'll see. Maybe this Yone pops off here. We didn't have the Sunfire, but yeah, it's not even close. This is an 18-minute VOD review. Like, the game is over. I don't know. I put it on 2 times speed and he just stomped everybody. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch. I'm at 21 LP for a first, by the way. That's actually insane. Check out all my other links down below. Thank you.